Finally, I'm able to talk about Nobunaga's ambition, sphere of influence. Shout out to Ryu12490 for suggesting this title to review. In short, it's a turn-based slash real-time grand strategy game similar to Koei Tecmo's other title, Romance of the Three Kingdoms. Instead of being focused on the Three Kingdoms period in China, the focus is shifted towards the Sengoku era of Japan. However, there are many more underlying differences besides just the time period. There's a very long and drawn out tutorial for you to undertake, but I don't believe it's necessary. Throughout the scenarios, you are given little tidbits of telling you what is going on, including how to battle, developing your towns, building facilities, how to commit seppuku, etc, etc. The best thing to do is to jump right into it. There are a good amount of scenarios to choose from, all with different clans and time periods. While it's great that you can choose from every clan, take that Shogun 2. Certain clans are vastly overpowered, such as the Oda and the Hojo, which is honestly true to history. If you really want more scenarios, there are a bunch more available through DLC, and honestly, for $3 a scenario, that's not a bad price. Some actually explore some possible what-if scenarios, like what if Shingen Takeda was able to reach Kyoto? What would have been the future of Japan? There are also a bunch of options to tweak the game towards your liking, so it's nice to see a bunch of optional options. This includes difficulty, having created officers, having maidens appear as officers, how computer opponents behave, and a bunch more. Unique to this title is the inclusion of quests. These quests give you objectives for you to complete. Completing these quests will unlock more and allows historians to replay history. It also gives players, especially newcomers, a sense of direction on what to do next in the scenario. It's just too bad that some clans don't understand this and will do whatever, preventing you from completing a quest line. Various events are told by these cutscenes. Compared to ROTK 11 and even 10, there are quite a lot of them. You get to see the rise of Shingen, the chaos that surrounds the Ashikaga shogunate, and various other history lessons. They're not very technologically impressive as it lacks voiceovers, but the aesthetics are good enough and the drama is definitely there. It's another nice touch this game has. Okay, we're gonna get into the meat of the gameplay here, so bear with me, there's a lot we gotta cover. It is more important than ever to manage your personnel. This game has one of the largest amounts of officers in a Nobunaga's Ambition title. Not only do you need to make sure that you have enough officers, but also that your officers are content and are also developing their skills along the way. In addition, unhappy officers of other clans can be persuaded to join yours, and vice versa. Neglecting domestics will lead to a swift defeat. Simply put, there's a lot involved outside of warfare. You can develop the farms for a better harvest, crafts for higher income, and conscripts for more soldiers. Facilities can then be added with their own bonuses, as well as base upgrades to fortify the defenses. Oh, don't forget to fix up the roads as well. Having high quality infrastructure will allow your troops to move quickly throughout Japan. Good infrastructure can also expand your castles as well, providing another good reason to improve upon travel. There are three types of clans: conservative, neutral, and progressive. Depending on the amount of innovation the clan has will determine the kind of tendency they are. Each tendency will allow the clan to enact certain policies, all providing their own benefits and drawbacks. Depending on how you play, certain policies can really bolster your conquest, while others will only serve to hinder it. It all depends on how you play and how you want to pretty much conquer Japan. Around this time, many women were used for diplomatic purposes such as marriages. However, when a daughter is born, you can use them as officers and put them in the front line. Not only is this being very progressive for the time, but some of my daughters became legitimate badasses on the field and became part of my elite corps. It was great. Diplomacy itself is very simple. Send a person to improve trust, and with a certain trust you can forge various different alliances. However, one fan requested addition has been added with Imperial Diplomacy. Making friends with the Emperor can lead you to being awarded with higher ranks, making you much more influential in diplomatic unification. Every move you make is to prepare you for the next battle, and your victory in battles is the main determinant of your success. You can outfit your troops with horses, muskets, or just their standard weapons. When two armies engage, they will fight it out until one is routed. You can let the computer just do all the work for you and just decide the battle, or you can participate in the battles yourself. The battles are unique in their own right. Just like in Total War, you can pause and slow down time. Depending on the officers leading the troops and their equipment, certain tactics can be used to tip the balance towards your favor. All of these actions take a portion away from your control meter, which varies depending on the tactic. If you have multiple units fighting in the same area, you can activate a mass battle. It's the same as a normal battle, but now there are more units on the field, increasing the significance and scope of the battle. Winning these can turn the war against another clan on your side. However, suffering a bitter defeat could spell doom for your ambition. Battles are overall fun, but I do have a few gripes. I'm not entirely sure if duels ever existed in Nobunaga's Ambition, but I wish they were in this game. In addition, the combat from ROTK 7, 10, and 11 are much more tactical and are more in-depth than what is offered here. In addition, certain tactics are much more beneficial than others regardless of how much control they cost. There are actually 3 ways victory can be achieved. The traditional way is to conquer the whole map. The second is to become a vassal and have your lord do all the work for you. The third way is to become shogun and initiate a warband, ending all the fighting. Each victory condition provides its own ending, and certain daimyo have their own special endings as well, so there's a lot of reason to go back and replay the campaigns. The mid to late game is still competitive as Japan is big enough where someone on the other side of the island can quietly absorb smaller clans while you do the same on your side. However, this is where the pacing grinds to a halt, as any wars you have with the opposing powerful clan will most likely result in long stalemates. If things get really crazy, you can form a coalition to take out the large clan. It's kinda like Realm Divide in Shogun 2, but it makes more sense here and is done much better. If a clan gets too powerful, other clans will rally together to defeat the threat. Coalitions can form against anybody who becomes too powerful, so it's important to make friends along the way. Nobunaga's Ambition definitely has an old school vibe to it. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can be seen as a fault. There aren't a lot of options, and while I personally fit into the game nicely, many unfamiliar with Koei strategy titles may be a bit turned off by the user interface. At least it's better than the UI in CK2. Great game, but good god is the interface horrible. Even though playing as Nobunaga or Shingen is a lot of fun, it is even better creating your own officers. You can create either a male or female, have them as an officer or daimyo, create their personality, assign them a good variety of voices, and adjust their abilities. Unfortunately, I didn't really mess with my own character too much, since I find it kind of intimidating starting my own clan and going against the likes of the Hojo and the Takeda to the east, and on the west you have the Shimazu and the Chokusokabe. Phew! So that is Nobunaga's Ambition, Sphere of Influence. I didn't cover everything for how massive this game is, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's a lot to like about this title, there's a lot to do, and it definitely has that one more turn vibe going for it. I haven't played any of the previous Nobunaga's Ambition titles, but playing this title has sparked a huge interest to hunt down some copies for the PS2. It's a great series, and I'm glad to have played this title. It is easily highly recommended for all strategy game fans. It might not have the greatest first impression, but let your clan flourish a little bit and you'll be aiming for the title of Shogun. This is Pow3rh0use, signing off.